Hello, today is 1/20 of 26, and I am here with a video of what I eat in a day on my keto journey. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I changed my diet to a high protein, moderate fat, low carb diet in April of 2024. It is currently just after midnight. I am making what I intend for us to have for dinner, what will be tonight, but I still have to go to sleep. So for me, it's tomorrow. Um, it's going to be in the slow cooker, but I'm going to get it all ready. I'm going to stick it in my fridge, and then in the morning I will turn it on. It is a beef bell pepper soup. I'm going to use my Instant Pot. I'm going to use the saute function. I have 1 pound of 93% lean ground beef in here. The recipe does call for a pound. I would normally add like 2 pounds because I do prioritize protein, but I don't have a second pound thawed out. So I'm just going to have to use the 1 pound, and I'll have to eat something else with it. And then the recipe calls for a small onion diced up. I have some onion left over here. This is from a large red onion. It's about half, maybe a little less than half of a red onion. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this up because that's easy. Plus, then, I'm kind of using it up and not letting it go to waste. So the recipe says to just cook and crumble this meat and the onion together until, cooked all the way through. I am going to add salt and pepper. I am one who believes in seasoning every layer. I find that so often when I don't, then the recipe ends up tasting like some unflavored meat with like sauce or, whatever it is that I have with it. So I am going to add some salt and pepper right away. And then I will use the saute function on my pressure cooker to get this cooked and crumbled. While I am waiting for that, I'm going to take care of a few other things. I have 2.5 cups of beef broth here that I've measured out. I'm going to get my can of, this is a 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes open and a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. I'll get both of those open. And I am working on chopping up two orange bell peppers. The recipe says you can use orange or yellow or I think red maybe. I did try to get a couple different colors because I wanted a little more variety, but my store was out, so I ended up with just orange peppers. And the other thing I'm going to do is get the seasonings together. So I'm just going to add them to my can of diced tomatoes. It's all going to go in at the same time. So, like, I'm just going to put those in and then they're all taken care of. I need a half teaspoon of fennel seeds. And then I need 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. And I need 2 cloves of garlic minced. So I just have this pre-minced garlic. I need 2 teaspoons of this. Each teaspoon equals 1 clove of garlic. And then I will just dump this whole thing in when it's time. Okay, I have my meat cooked and crumbled. It says to drain off the excess fat, but to be honest, there's just not much in here because it's 93% lean. So I'm not going to worry about taking that step. I'm going to dump in my tomato and seasonings, although I'm thinking about it and I'm not sure that I added salt. I'm supposed to add a half teaspoon of salt. I think I'm just going to leave it because I did add salt to the meat. And then, if we need to add salt as we're eating it, then we'll just do that. And then my can of tomato sauce and my bell peppers. And I'll give that all a stir around. And the recipe says to add the beef broth last. So that's what I'll do. I don't quite know why. I don't know why we can't stir it all together because it's going to get all stirred together anyway. Okay. So now in the morning, I will put this on to cook. It's supposed to cook on low for like 5 to 6 hours. It is 3 o'clock and I'm ready to eat my soup. So I did have my coffee and donut this morning around 10. which I made my coffee with 1 cup of Fairlife 2% milk, a serving of whey isolate protein powder, a serving of collagen peptides, a serving of MCT oil, and then my donut is from Conscious Comforts, which is a local bakery in my area that makes gluten-free, sugar-free donuts. It's kind of my usual breakfast. And then I just was not hungry. I had planned to eat another meal during probably like noonish, but I just could not eat anything. I was so full. So I didn't eat. I did go to the gym. Today is cardio only. So I did an hour on the stair stepper, zone 2. So really just nasal breathing through my nose. As long as I could still nasally breathe easily, I was in zone 2. Um, for my soup, I did try it and it was lacking in flavor, and I'm pretty sure I left out the salt. So I did add a bit of salt to it and it helped, but there's still not much flavor to it. Like it's a pretty mild flavored soup. So I think my family will really, really enjoy it. But for me, I do like a bit of a stronger flavor. And with it, I did add a tablespoon of chia seeds to it to get some more fiber in. I'm going to have a yogurt bowl. So I'm using this Okios Pro yogurt. It's plain Greek yogurt, has 25 grams of protein because they do add whey protein powder to it. And then I have topped it with some sauteed frozen blackberries. Accidentally, I had some yogurt like on my spoon, and so I ate it before I went to eat my soup, which this is I don't know if you can see it, but that's my soup. And it was really good. So I added some of my yogurt to my soup bowl, and it kind of tastes like adding sour cream to it. And so it's really good. It's going to make it like a meal that I really enjoy. So that's kind of how I'm going to eat some of my yogurt, and the rest of it I'll eat in my bowl. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of my day. I basically skipped a meal, which means that my protein is not going to get to where I want it to today. I do have something planned that like I think I might be able to eat later, but I'm not really sure if that's actually going to like if I'm actually going to be able to eat it once I eat this stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. Today might be a day where I'm short on calories and short on protein, and I'll just have to make it up later. I'm done with my soup and my yogurt bowl, and I'm pretty full, but I do want to try to get some more protein in because I am going to be really short. I have been hungry for a seed breakfast that I used to make all the time and I haven't made in quite a while. It's actually why I bought some almond milk was because I intended to make some and I just kind of haven't gotten around to like making some. I'm gonna try and make some, but I'm only gonna make a half serving because, like I said, I'm not sure that I can eat very much. Like a whole serving sounds like way too much. So I'm gonna try and get through a half serving so I can at least get some more protein in today. So I have in my little glass jar here half of 3/4 of a cup of almond milk, approximately. I just guessed. Um, the original recipe is a full 3/4 of a cup. Okay, and then I need 1.5 tablespoons of flaxseed. The original recipe calls for chia seeds, but I find that I like it better using flaxseed. So there's 1.5 tablespoons. Kind of like gets static stuck to my um, measuring spoon. Okay, and then 1.5 tablespoons of my hemp hearts. And I need 2 tablespoons of shredded coconut flakes, unsweetened. This to me is kind of like what makes it really feel like an oatmeal, which is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a keto friendly oatmeal. And then I'm also going to add some oat fiber to this. So this is not in the original recipe that I used, but I find that I just like the little bit of like added like oat flavor that it gives. And this is just like the outer husk of the oat. So this is pure fiber. I'm going to add a teaspoon to this. Okay, and then I'm just going to put my lid on and shake it up, and then I'm going to take my lid off because you shouldn't put metal in the microwave. And heat this, probably, I think I usually heat it for like a minute and a half, but this is less volume. So I'll start with a minute and see what happens. Okay, yeah, this is nice and warmed for me. All right, now time to add my protein. So if I were using maybe like a beef protein, it would probably be okay, but this is a whey protein. And with the whey protein, like you don't want to heat it up. It just really, really dries it out. So that's why I heat it first, and then I'm going to add my protein powder to it. And I'll add a half serving because I'm making a half serving of my breakfast. So I call it sea breakfast. So I need like 16 to 17 grams. And for my protein powder, I am using this Pro-Dough maple donut protein powder. This is my favorite one to use when making this dish. I have used other protein powders. I'm thinking specifically of like Keto Chow brand protein powders. And if you're going to use those, you need more liquid because that protein powder just makes it super thick. And I think I must have got too much liquid in here because this is pretty thin. I think I might try and just heat it up a little because, like I said, um, like it dries it out. It'll take out some of that liquid, and not that it really takes it out, but I'm going to try kind of drying it out a little bit by heating it. Yeah, that's much better. I only heated it for like 15 seconds, and it really has like helped the consistency quite a bit. I think I forgot a pinch of salt. I mean, I know I forgot a pinch of salt. I haven't made it in quite a while, so. And it's really just to help balance out the sweet from the uh, protein powder. So, like, if your protein powder isn't really sweet, you might not need the salt. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I think I can eat all of this, and I'll be back and we'll take a look at how my day turned out. It is just after 8. About a half an hour ago, I had some more food, which I don't usually eat that late. But I was like legit hungry and I definitely needed it. Even if you look at my numbers right now, you can see that I needed it. I'm still short on my protein. So I had leftover Mexican breakfast bake or egg bake, something like that. I'll link to it in the description below. Which really helps because my protein was I think it was at 135. So now it's up to like almost 165. So that is fabulous. I ended up with about 1800 calories. My protein is 163. My net carbs are 47 and my fat is 93. So my carbs are a little high today. Higher than I normally like, but it's all like real food. Like it's not from I don't know, like protein bars or like other kinds of foods. It's all from like whole food and my protein powder. So I'm really okay with it. As far as my caloric deficit, it's a little low, but not really. It's only just after 8. I will probably burn at least another 100, if not two, before the end of the night. So that really puts me right where I want to be. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.